Hello, good afternoon. Let me set up my chair. Don't fall down. Ooh, lighting. See, we're professional up in here. More lights. Excellent. Lights, camera. Coffee. Revolution. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. I think we can get started off. Hello, Dennis, and hello, Jana or Anna. Hi. Some familiar faces here. Welcome to the second edition of this Let's Code stream. Let me just set myself up here because I have some music playing and it's a bit too loud. Like every time, confirmation, is the sound okay? Am I too loud or too quiet or both? Sound okay. Thank you, Mr. DeAndre. Okay, so let me move my coffee to this side and let me switch plus minus okay-ish. What does that mean, Dennis? Is it not loud enough or what? Okay. Cool, I guess I can get started. So welcome to the second edition of the stream. So last night, actually yesterday evening, yeah, where you go? Last night we did a really nice stream on building CloudFormation templates, or building a CI/CD template using CloudFormation. It was a 2-hour stream, so it was pretty lengthy in time. Unlike other streams, this was a very unorganized stream, so there was I literally did zero preparation for it. It was just myself banging some CloudFormation code and trying to figure out why it doesn't work. Of course it didn't work. If it worked from the first time, I think you would say it was scripted. So basically it was a lot me reading documentation and troubleshooting CloudFormation in general. So I plan to do the same thing right now. I hope you're all like that. I got some good feedback about people liking that kind of a content, so I'm really happy. So I guess we can continue. So the goal is to build a CI/CD pipeline. Calm down, camera. The goal is to build a CI/CD pipeline through CloudFormation. And also today, what we're going to try to do is actually build some application thing behind it, or actually something to deploy to. So yesterday we had a discussion about how are we going to do it, and I was initially going the serverless route, which is great, but there's better ways to do it on serverless than with CloudFormation. So I think if I would do serverless, I would most likely use SAM or use even CDK. But since I'm doing like vanilla CloudFormation, I'm just going to go ahead and just deploy 2 containers. So today we're going to try to build out this container infrastructure and kind of connect it all to CloudFormation, to code pipeline and all the things. So we're going to still be banging out the same CloudFormation template and all that stuff. We're going to be adding some future, additional things. Now, how long this stream is going to be, I have no idea. Again, it's going to be very much, there should be silences where I look at documentation as well. So it should be cool. Also, the recording of the stream is already available on YouTube as well, if you missed it. Switching to this. Wow. And you can see I put the title of this stream because yesterday people were coming in and asking, what is this all about? So I think that will kind of help and explain a bit, at least some things. Also, is my keyboard connected? Yes, it is. Cool. So like before, just to explain a bit on the logistics, I'm actually working on my I'm streaming from my desktop, but I'm controlling my MacBook from here, and it's through Bluetooth. But because my MacBook screen is coming from a capture card, there's some lag. So my typing skills and everything else is not the best thing because this lag kind of gives me issues. Cool. So what's the last thing we did yesterday? Let me zoom in a bit on this. Let's go to workspace, repos, and let's CFN something. Yes, not workshop. No. it's not repos, it's workspace streams, CFN something, yes. Cool. So we have this template. Cool. Now yesterday, if you recall, this we had some problems with this. We were struggling mostly with YAML. YAML was causing us problems, proper bad indentation and all those things. So I kind of spent a lot of minutes on troubleshooting all of that. So today I've opted into, before I even started this, I actually installed those lovely little plugin for Vim that does this. It colors my indentations, so I know which indentation belongs to which, well, which text belongs to each indentation a bit more easy. So if I want to confirm that, yeah, this is the same indentation and it should be, I can just, well, toggle this on and off. So that's good. But I want to do something more, because we're going to be doing a more YAML, and I'm using Vim as my editor of choice. And Vim is not the best thing when it comes to syntax, not syntax highlighting, but more doing something with your code, or being more friendly with your code. I'm gonna, before we do anything else, I'm gonna just configure my Vim here by installing a little plugin called Vim Conquest of Completion, I believe that's the name. And if I do this and open it like that, and let's try to find it. So Vim Coq, it's COC, right? Perfect. It's basically IntelliSense IntelliSense engine for Vim. So I'm just gonna install this. I'm gonna do this. I know I told you I was gonna do like a full-on stream on my my terminal and Vim configuration, so that's coming as well down the line. I just want to do one thing right now. So if I just do Vim and then open up this and then open up, what is it, plugin? Where is it? Autoload? Is it this one? Yes, it's this. No, it's not this one. It's a Vim. And that is it. 8. Excellent. So let me just add COC to this thing. There's a few things I need to configure as well. COC, like that. Okay, that seems good. I need to do one more thing. So looking at this thing, I need to define a configuration file. And this configuration file in itself should be sufficient. Copy. I am sorry for the lack of CloudFormation at the beginning, but please bear with me. Plugin, no. Plug config and then coc.vim. There's one thing I need to remap here because I recall it kind of busts one of my keys. This one. So if I do Windows and N, no, it's Windows format. Let's do G. No, that's not it. Can I do which key? Which key should I use? Which one is not mapped? This one and this one is mapped. Okay, this one. No. Perfect. So I'll just change this to a C and this to a C. Cool. One more thing I need to do is I need to edit and then init. Like this. Okay, hopefully this works. If I go back here now, it's not as simple as this. Let me Vim template. It's gonna install COC right now. Perfect. Now, one of the things I need to do COC install, and then I need to install some engines for this. So there's a few things I need to install. There's an example here. I can do this, for example. Okay. What are you gonna install? Diagnostics. Ooh. It worked on my other computer. Okay, let's try again. No, it is not executable. Interesting. Let's see. There's a few things I need to do here when it comes to these things. There is this great, the guy that does excellent tutorials on Vim. Let me do this. NVim CSC. What is his name? This gentleman, Chris. Not that. This Mr. here. NPMG. I don't need yarn. I need check health. Check health. There we go. So it's gonna run a check health for COC. Okay, cool. Node.js not found. Okay, why am I missing Node.js? Really? No. Executable Node.js not found. Why is it not found? Oh, there's so much things I need to install. If I do npm works, that's fine. Okay, I need to figure this out. It's not if I do cock install COC YAML. Guess it's a bit bugged. Okay. I'm gonna abort this setup right now because it will take me too much time to set up this. It's not that important as of now, but next time I'll figure it out. So let me just close this off and go to Vim and then edit my init file and just do this. Like that. Cool. And then if I do Vim. Oh, hey Zorana and hey Elliot. Hello, how are you? If I edit Vim and then it's the thing, yes. It's plugins. I'm just gonna remove this plugin for now. Cool. Vim. Okay, I'm missing something. Oh, it's not this, it's this. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's go back to what we wanted to do. So we want to modify this template now. As I said, we want to change it a bit so we can actually use it with containers instead of using serverless functions. It's getting pretty warm in here, so let me just remove my shirt. Okay, so what what do we need to do first? Instead of so let's first focus on creating ECS cluster, right? So we're going to create an ECS cluster using CloudFormation, and we're going to use Fargate. Why not? So how do we do that? I don't know. Let's have a look. So let's go here and then do AWS CloudFormation ECS. So we need a cluster. Let's see. Thank you, Elliot. Yeah, I've been working on my Vim setup a long time, and it's as you can see, I am struggling even trying to set it up right now. But I promise my other Vim setup on my other laptop is better. So I guess for the cluster, we just need a couple of things. We need cluster. We don't need the cluster name. We need literally nothing. We could just define a cluster just as blah. But let's do a basic cluster like this one. So let's kick it off with let's move things down. Let's actually go down the line at the end of the thing, and let's do, what are we gonna call it? Let's do containers. Cool. Let's call it Fargate. Cluster name, let's call it stream Fargate cluster. Perfect. We have created, or we have started creating a small cluster. Now, what do we need for a cluster to continue now? We need a service, right? Can we just do it with a service without a task definition, or do we need to create a task definition initially? Let's see, is the task definition required? I believe it is, but it's not. It must be defined if we're using ECS or co-deploy deployment controls. Okay, let's define a task definition. Let's create a task definition. There's a bunch of things we need to create. We need to create a container definition as well. Yeah, let's do this. So let's get a sample thing here. See, these are quite massive. What is the simplest one? Okay, let's do this one. Okay, like that. Paste. Now, most of these things we're gonna completely ignore, but yeah, let's do something here first, like that, and then move. Is that good? Cool. My task definition. Let's do proper camel case notation, because why not? Okay, what are the things we need for our task definition initially? So what are required parameters? We want to just use required parameters. Container definition, we don't. CPU, we don't. Execution role, we don't. Family, no. IPC mode, no. Memory, no. Network mode, no. PID mode, no. Placement control, no. No. Tags, no. Required task role, wow. Nothing, literally nothing. We could have defined it without anything. So let's remove, actually, let me use my newly installed plugin to see what do I need to remove. So anything from so container definitions are not required, and volumes are not required as well. Cool. So, but I want to define a container. I want a container definition, definitely, because I need a container. A container will have to go to an image, right? So what do I need for a container definition? What is a required parameter for a container definition? Is there anything that's required? Oh, nothing. Interesting. So let's see, how would this work? Command, CPU, nothing. Is there we don't define an image here, right? Nothing. So environment, no. Essential, extra host, health check, host name, image. Now image is not required, but let's see how can we use this image here. Images start container, starting the string is passed directly to the Docker daemon. Images in Docker Hub register available by default. Okay. Okay, so we need to create a Docker. We need to create a repository. Okay, so ECR here, and let's create a repository. This should be simple enough. Is there an example? There is. Perfect. Let's do this, and then so Fargate would be not like that. Let me copy this again. Basta. Okay. Repository name, let's call it stream ECS repo. Do I need to create a policy for that one? I'm not gonna do any of these things, so I'm just gonna completely ignore this. I'm gonna handle the permissions to this repository on itself. So yeah. Okay, we have repository now. Task definition. We said we need a thing called what is that? Task definition, config container definition. Okay, we need a container definition. It's container definition, container definitions. Okay, that's fine. We have an example here, right? And then we just add a like that and that, like that, and name, and then we let's call this container. How are we gonna call this container? Let's give it a name. Let's call it stream container definition. Okay. We don't need mount points. We need an image. So we're gonna say image, and we are gonna say we want this repository. What's the return from this repository? When I do return, you get the logical ID, resource names such as so if I go to task definition, or actually container definition, what is the image? Image should be what? It's a string that either by full or registry, okay, for example, region name. Can I get this thing? when you pass the logical ID of this resource, the resource names, it gets a repository name. So we need to be smart about this, because we don't need to pass it just the name, we need to pass it the whole thing. So we are gonna do the following. So we are gonna do some substitutions, I guess. So we need to use the sub command. AWS CloudFormation sub fn sub. Yes. So this is a substitution command that basically substitutes variables and strings. For example, this. Can I do two variables in this case? I can do this. But that's not the best thing in the world, is it? Is it? Okay, I can maybe do this. Yes. If I... Let's do this. Now, we need this. Here's a great example, like this. Repository name, latest. So we need something like this. How do we make this? So we need, this is an account ID. This is the region, and then we need Amazon AWS.com. Let's do it like this then. So if I do, so I can use account ID and region. So if I just remove this, and then to me ID like that, then let's do dk.dkr.ecr.region name. So it's region, right? Is it region? What is the example here? It's region, yes, region. Dobro. And then here we do something like this, and then Amazon AWS.com / and then we can just do this, and then what is it? My ECR Repository. Maybe this works. I have no idea. So I'll try to make this work. Cool. So we have a container definition here. We have a repository, we have a cluster, and we have a task definition. Now, what else do we need? We need a service. So if I go here and do ECS Service. So I have not come here, I have not explained ECS. So for those of you who do not know what ECS is our container orchestration service. Basically, this is where you run your Docker containers. Repository is, so ECR is repository for your container images. ECS Cluster is a cluster where you're gonna have one or more services. A service is basically a definition, or it's a compilation of tasks. And tasks, think of a task as being a container, just a running container. So service can have multiple of those. And a task definition is a definition of a task, how a task should look. So as you can see, we could have done a whole lot of different things here when it comes to task definitions, but we don't need to do that right now, hopefully. So let's go back. We have a task definition, we need service. So what do we need for a service? We need a cluster. Ooh, well, see, these can get super large. I think this is a super simple example. That's a basic example here. Like that. Set paste. I have a problem with pasting here. Set paste. Okay. Perfect. Let's call this my ECS web app, because we're gonna make a web application. But yeah, let's reference Can we do it in a single line? Yes, we can. So let's do it. Ref my Fargate cluster. Desired count. We're gonna just do 1. And the task definition is ref my task definition. Perfect. Oh, did I pass something? Oh, I didn't. Okay. Cool. So my ECS web app, my service thing here. Now, in essence, this should be able to work right now. If I would go to here and then to again workspace, stream, CFN, perfect. If I do CFN length, will this work? No, I have a problem. Can I start any token? 290. Am I? What? Ah, tab spacing. Thank you. Is it? No. Oh, this should be good. What did I do wrong? So I busted my tab thing. Ugh. Vim and plugins. Why is this? Tell me this is a paste thing. 1 second. How do you unset? Set paste? No. 1 second. Pasting is joy. See, now it's good. But so what did we call it? Stream. No, my ECS web app. That's fine. Cluster desired count task definition. Cluster is gonna ref my Fargate cluster. Desired count is gonna be 1, and task definition is gonna be again ref my task. That's fine. Excellent. So now I think it's fine. Hope so. Let's see, F6. No, F this one. Yeah, looks okay. No, I busted something up again. Okay, no, this looks fine. Okay, something else. 294 must be type. Okay, type integer. So this should be of type integer, which is basically just 1. Clear. Cool. So far, this looks good. Now I cannot confirm that this will work, but let's try. So if I go here and I go now close that, and let's do it to CloudFormation. So I already have this entire thing running here. This one, yes. So let me update this thing. So to update this, I'm going to replace my current template, upload the template here, select that file, open, click next, no parameters, nope. and then I acknowledge that it might create some resources. So there's going to be something that's going to happen. Let's see if we can see if we can view the change set. Okay, so we can see the change set. We're going to see that an ECR repository is going to be added. We see that a service is going to be added, a cluster, and a task definition. So very cool. By the way, if there are any questions on chat, I see a few people in chat. If there's any questions regarding what I'm doing or in general, feel free to ask me. I am very much open for these things, as this is a very relaxed stream, or at least I try to be. Okay, it failed. Repository name has failed. Must satisfy constraints. Ooh, interesting. So, okay. It's gonna roll back. That's the great thing. It just rollbacks and nothing has changed. This thing still exists, so that should be perfectly fine. But I know what's the problem. So see, this is the thing. Repository. I think I can only use lowercase. Yeah, only lowercase things. Okay. Stream ECS repo. Can I do dashes? Yes, I can. So stream ECS repo. Let's call it stream web app ECS repo. Or do I need to call it repo? No, I don't. Or not even ECS. Okay. Has this rollback? Come on, rollback. Rollback complete. Excellent. Update again. Replace current template. Update a file. This, and web app. It's interesting how some things are not even able to be detected up front, because you see the CloudFormation specs tells me that's fine, but until I actually click the update or it actually makes the API call, I don't really know, is this fine? So when it comes to testing CloudFormation, sometimes it's very important that you actually deploy. I'm talking production environments. It's very important that you deploy these things in production or in staging, just to make sure that that change actually works. Okay, invalid setting for container. Stream container definition, at least one memory or interesting. Memory or memory reservation must be defined. Okay, let's go back to container definitions. Where are these things? Container definitions. Is memory required? No. Memory reservation? No. See? Documentation, please. Okay. My task definition, container definition, we need to specify memory. What is a memory? How does memory look like? Let's call memory about the megabytes. Let's do memory, and I'm gonna do 24. Can I do 124? It's a string, so 124. Cool. Just to verify, does this work now? Should be typed integer. Okay, never mind. Does it say string or integer? Oh, it's integer. Okay, sorry. Once again. That's fine. Rollback should be complete-ish. Yep. Update again. Replace current template. Upload template file. Fingers crossed. Now, all of these things should be created pretty fast because there's no actual resources being created. We don't have to wait for anything. It's just things being, well, resources are being created, but they're mostly not, there's no EC2 instances. There's nothing like that that takes a long time to be created. So a service is being created here now. And by the way, this This template will be sitting on GitHub as well. I'm going to be updating it at the end of the stream. So if you want to check it out and follow along. So we're getting at the app right now. While this is going on, I just need to check out something on this side. Perfect. Okay, switching back to my laptop, and let's see what's happened. Has this finished? And I was saying that this takes a short amount of time. Apparently, I lied. But we can see here that the current app is in progress. And if we go to ECS, if we find Elastic Container Service, it's actually in its own little thing. Containers, Elastic Container Service. We can see that we have Stream Fargate Cluster with an active, what is this, service. And this service is from this task definition, which is this, right? And if we go to ECR, we can see that we have a repository here right now that is Stream Docker build. It's this one? No, it's not this one. It's Stream Web App. This is one, yeah. So we have created, there's no images here, so that's fine. Cool. So this should be all fine once this is complete. For some reason, there's a delay. Refresh. Marius says, love to see so much content about AWS and CI/CD. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, sir. I like doing this. I'm actually, you know, it's my job to do this, absolutely, but it's also like pretty much fun for me to do this. I'm an engineer, so if I can do, if you're all fine looking at me, not doing super perfect and trying to Google code, I'm fine with that. Now, will this? No. Clusters, this one. Oh, okay. We need to define something on the service. See, we need to do something here. We need to define an EC2 service. It's not going to be an EC2, it's going to be Fargate. So we need to change something in our template. So going back to here and going to here, if we go to service, where is it? Service. We need to define a specific property for Fargate. Now it's launch type, I believe. Yes, launch type. If I do this and then launch type and call it, what is it? It's a string. Can I do Fargate like that? So I'm gonna update my template as soon as my stack as soon as it finishes updating. I'm not sure why is it taking so long for this to be created. I mean, the resource has been created, and maybe it has not just kind of phoned back to say, hey, I'm good. Maybe that's the thing. In any case, I'm gonna let this stay the way it is right now, while we have a look at some other things. So how is this gonna work? So the goal is that we are gonna create a cluster backend, and we're gonna use our CI/CD pipeline to build an image from something and publish it to an the code what is it, ECR, yeah, Elastic Code Repository or ECS Code Repository, and then we're gonna take that thing and deploy it to our active container, or not active container, our active service. So one of the things we can do while we wait for this, and I'm gonna actually try to wait for this to finish instead of me trying to cancel updates. Let's create an application. So I was thinking something. I'm gonna create a Docker application, super simple API thing, REST API or REST application that's just going to return some silly things. And I'm thinking using Python for that. Now, mind you, I'm not an expert in Python by far. So again, there's going to be some potential Googling or something. I was thinking Flask. I think we can do something with Flask. Let me there web. Let's call it web app py Flask, right? Okay, we're gonna create something called requirements. There we go. Requirements txt. So if we do, we're gonna need Flask, and I think there's a something called Flask REST. Flask REST. RESTful. Is there an example of it? Installation. It's this one. Is it? Yeah, it's a different one. Wait, I have it. It is this one. It's Flask _RESTful. Yeah, yeah. So if we do Flask RESTful, well, yeah, that's fine. So these are the two things we need. Save that, and let's create app.py. So let's search for an application, a sample application, or if somebody's an amazing Python developer on chat, they can give me a super simple Python application to create. So Docker Python Flask REST API or REST app. How to build a simple Flask thing. Excellent. I have Docker installed. That's fine. I don't need this thing. The API. That's all fine. Container name. I don't want to use Docker Compose. Maybe this. Okay. Did that. I have Docker installed. That's all fine. I don't care. Docker images. Creating the files. Okay. Flask and Flask RESTful. Amazing. Older Python, doesn't matter, it's fine. It's all for show. So we need this. Will this work? Let's try. Paste. So what does this do? We import Flask, we import Flask RESTful, creating app, and creating API. We have a simple class, hello world, saying hello world. Let's do stream, make some changes to it, and it's gonna basically run on host 000. Perfect. Do we need anything else? Okay, requirements, that's fine. Yeah, Docker file. Now, for all of you who do not know what Docker file is, a Docker file is a file that defines your container. So if I do this, this is what we tell Docker, saying, hey, use the Python 2.7 image, copy the app thing here to container, yeah. This is the work directory called app. Install the requirements from the requirements txt file. The entry should be Python, and this should be the command you run. Perfect. Okay, then I should be able to Docker. Wait, there's a command like that. That's fine. Docker build. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna try to run this locally. So Docker build. Let's see what it's gonna do. So it's pulling on the file system layers from Docker Hub for Python and all the different things it needs to do these things. So you're lucky if you have fast internet at home, like I do. Okay, so you can see it's running through all of these steps. It's installing all of these things, Jinja, it's dangerous, Werkzeug, and all those things. So perfect. So now we should have a Docker image. If I do Docker image ls, right? Yeah. Okay. We have my Docker Flask created 10 seconds ago. It's 900 megabytes in size. Perfect. So if I would be basically doing Docker run, this is a command, I guess. Yeah. So just a bit of a Docker tangent. We're telling it, hey, run this image in daemon. This is the port configuration. So translate port 5000 to the local port 5000, and this is the image we're going to be using to launch this. So if I do this, and I do docker ps, we have something running. So if I do http localhost 5000, should get something. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, works. There we go. I have hello stream. The Andre asks, how fast is your internet? I have speed test. Yeah, let's try. Now I'm running on Wi-Fi from a MacBook, and there's no VPN enabled, so it should be relatively okay. The problem is I have 1 gigabit download, and you know, having Wi-Fi, sometimes it's not possible to do that, and also it really depends on what server do you get to grab, and also you get to see my IP address. So I'm adjusting it on the same server, Deutsche Telekom Technik. Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah, so you can see it varies between 300 and 400 on Wi-Fi, but on if I download something from Steam, I can get like 90 megabytes a second, which is almost 2 gigabit. But hey, I would say it's relatively cheap in Germany. Okay, cool. We have an application. So we have a Docker file, we have an app, we have requirements text. So we can basically use this now in our pipeline to build our application on ECS. Excellent. So let's go back to CloudFormation and see, has anything changed here? Nothing has changed. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna leave it be for now. And we're gonna do something else. Now, why is this not? I'm really wondering why is this. I think, is it waiting for a callback? I want to see this service. Yeah, pretty fast, I must say. So properties, deployment configuration, desired count, enable ECS, health check, grace periods, launch type, Fargate, load balancers, configuration, platform version, that's fine, role, scheduling strategy, service name, serve tags, task definition. Okay, I'm just gonna cancel this all out. Can I cancel update stack? I'm gonna roll back to the previous thing. So, great thing about CloudFormation, you can actually, roll back your update. Basically, it's gonna say, hey, the creation has failed, and it's gonna roll back to the previous state, which is very useful. Some other ISC tools out there have struggled with that. I know with Terraform, I was struggling with a failed deployment. You deploy something through Terraform, and it just, if it breaks, and it's just manual creation of all the things. So. Okay, rolling back. Come on. Delete all the things. Clusters. So this thing is still here. The service is gone. The task definition. Yeah, fixing a Terraform state is beyond fun, if I may say so myself. I've actually, my colleague Kobus has a really nice a sample of doing all of this with ECS, not with ECS, with Terraform, and that's really great. He has a great example at GitHub. I believe I shared it a few times. What happened is that I took his Terraform thing and launched it on my own my own account, having it fail in mid creation for some reason, and then it took me the same amount of time to kind of delete all the things the Terraform has created, because Terraform doesn't delete them. So yeah, fun times. Also, Marius asks on YouTube, do you intend to create a project from scratch using AWS, split in a number of videos? Well, Marius, this is something like that, and the videos are massive. It's like a big 2-hour stream, at least it was yesterday, depending on we'll see how long it takes us today. But yeah, I plan to do things like this, creating things. I call it Let's Code. So we're gonna code infrastructure, we're gonna code projects, we're gonna code things, yada yada yada. So should be fun. Okay, no clusters found. Perfect. Now let's go back here. We have made some changes here to the launch type. Desired count is 1. Let's change this to, let's change this to 0. Like this. Can this be 0? I guess it can. to CFN length. Excellent. Okay, let's go back to this thing and update, replace, upload, choose. Maybe I should do this all through CLI, but hey, no parameters. But I'm also gonna do the same thing I do right now. I'm gonna, once I finish this, I think the next Let's Coach series is gonna be CDK. So yeah, that should be cool as well. Again, it's not gonna be, for most of my other streams I prepare a bit. I at least have a look at what I'm doing and have some code ready to show it to you like in 1 hour. But this one is literally, I don't know if it's gonna work. I am just, see, it just broke. Task Definiton doesn't support launch type Fargate. What? Yeah, exactly. Terraform state with S3 backend. Fun. Launch type Fargate. Why don't you support this? Task definition? Yeah, CDK should be fun. CDK is great. Task definition, do I need to define it here as well, or container definition? Where do I do this? So CPU, Fargate, parameter not support Windows. If using Fargate type, this field is required, you must use one of the following values. Ah, okay. Okay, I use this proper. Oh, I need to use CPU as well. Okay, where's CPU? Where's CPU? So I need to find, what do I need to define for my CPU? This field is optional. If you're using Fargate launch type, this field is required. Okay, so I need to define CPU. Okay, perfect. So where is this in container definition? Okay, then I do CPU like that. No, CPU. I will do. I'll do 512. Why not? Okay. But I also need to do more things because I see I have a few things that I need to define. Fargate mode, network mode is not important. PID mode, placement constraints. Array placement constraints. These field not valid. Requires compatibilities. Okay, so I need to do this as well. Okay. Fargate. EC2 Fargate. Perfect. Okay, I think we should be better now. So shall we do this and be smart about it and do check the template? Invalid property requires compatibilities. Why is that invalid? Is it on a container definition? Did I do it properly? Requires compatibilities. List of strings, so it should go. But it doesn't really matter. If it should be a valid property. Oh, it's on task definition. Sorry. Okay. Does this look good? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So how did we do it last time? So, CDK, no, AWS CloudFormation deploy. Hey. It's faster this way. So let's see what's happening on this thing. Callback in progress. Okay, more things. My task definition. Network modes. What are the task definition? Network mode. Okay, there is a note. Docker daemon. Does it say anything about Fargate? Okay, AWS VPC is required. Okay, so Fargate launch type, and it's a string, so it should be just. Do we need to define a VPC as well? Nope. Okay. But then I need to define a VPC in the service, I guess, right? Where does one define a VPC? Is it in network configuration? Yeah. So this parameter is requires for that. Okay, so I need to do this now on the service. Do I need to create a VPC as well? So is it on service? Service. See, you see how this simple, relatively simple configuration just kind of balloons out into multiple different complicated things. So, yeah. So, is there an example of this? Okay. Okay, so I need to define things. Okay, how does the VPC configuration look like? I just need subnets, basically. Subnets. So, do we create a VPC? Yes, we do. You know what? If you're gonna do something right, or as somebody used to say, if you're gonna screw things up, better get it out of the way early. So let's find how to create a VPC. I think there should be a creating VPCs is not the funnest of things to do on CloudFormation because it requires a lot of code. So it's under EC2 and then it's VPC. Okay. VPC. Now, let me just preface something. In the real world, you would do this in multiple stacks. You would not create a VPC in the same stack. You create your pipeline and your containers and all those things. You would have multiple separated CloudFormation templates and all those things. So this is just for show. So do not do this in production. I'll remove this. I'll remove these things. What are the things I need to specify? Enable host names. What are the default ones? DNS host names. Type boolean. Let's DNS support true. DNS host names true. Now, by doing this, we'll create a VPC, but just a blank VPC without anything. I need to create subnets, I need to create internet gateways, and all those things. So, I need to do VPC. I need at least a couple of subnets. So, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna create two subnets here. Cool. So what else do we need? We need internet gateways. Fun. EC2 internet gateway. So let's I think I need an internet gateway per subnet. Is there any property I need to set? I don't need to do anything like this. Is it only one internet gateway? It is, right? Yeah, okay, I need just a single VPC gateway, so I don't need this one. Yeah, it's per VPC, not per subnet. Now, there's this VPC, where is it? Gateway attachment, is this? No, internet gateway, yeah. It's so weird. No, not VPC gateway, no, internet. How do you do this? Internet gateway, not gateway root. I need to attach this thing. VPC gateway attachment. Okay. Oh, this is it. Okay. Okay. Oh, I just need this. My VPC. And once you had a chance to look at me do this in CDK, you will know what I use CDK, because I can do all of this in a single line. But yeah, VPC gateway attachment, my VPC, my internet gateway, as I call it. Yeah. So what else do we need? We need routes. VPC route table. Do I need to create just a route? Okay, so I need a route table and a route. Okay. I've created a route table. I need to create two route tables. My route table 01 for each. Route tables go towards subnets, right? Is that true? No, okay, I need just one. Okay, route table is going to be just one. Then I need to create route table subnet association. See, doing VPC is, but I refuse to copy paste things. To actually, I have an example of this, most likely somewhere, but I refuse to copy paste these things. So I want the torture. Is it? I just have one subnet. I have two subnets. Okay. Forward. Here's the thing. I have to do this once more. Just copy this and come here and paste it all. 20. Cool. Perfect. Now I need to add routes to my table. What is the default one? Okay, let's just add an internet route. This should be all good, I think. You can see how much my template has exploded right now. See? I think we're fine with VPC now. I think we will be creating this VPC. This should be all good. Excellent. Cool. 368 lines of code. And okay, so let's go back to what we wanted. We wanted to have a look at this. Yes, subnets. So we need, what is this called? Where did we stop? Subnets, yes. So we have to do this. No, like this, and then it's ref my subnet 01 like that, and I can just do this again. But okay, maybe this works. If this works, boyos, yeah, we're gonna be in good. I doubt it's gonna work. Exactly. Enable DNS support should be Boolean. It is Boolean, buddy. It's a string Boolean, but it's a Boolean. Depends on should reference. Okay, my depends on is bad. Depends on. Gateway to internet. No. My internet gateway. Okay, what else? Invalid property. AWS VPC configuration on ECS web app. My AWS VPC configuration. Why is this a bad property? I see why it's a bad property, because VPC like that. Okay. My subnet found was not found. Subnet. My subnet 02. Well, it's here. Did I do it badly? Can I do it like this? Like that? Okay. That's good. Invalid property. AWS VPC configuration. So, okay, we're somewhere. AWS Service VPC. ECS Service. AWS. Okay, network configuration. And under network configuration, so go like this, network configuration, and then we do this. That. This should be good. Yeah. Let's try. Ugh, what did I do wrong? Mapping values are not allowed here. Subnets, string, list of string. Sorry, oops. Better? Why is this an invalid configuration? ECS Service. Network configuration, type network configuration. There must be an example here. We also have an example of these things. Interesting. Cluster, network load, network configuration, and on the network configuration, oh, okay, so it is lowercase here. It is lowercase. See, I'm not a fan of these things, buddy. Okay, perfect. It works. Cool. Shall we deploy, or shall we attempt to deploy? Let me have a look. Is this in what state is this thing? Let's roll back complete. Perfect. By the way, I appreciate you all, 7 of you, being on stream here. I know it's not the most funnest of things watching me read documentation, but I really appreciate it. and thank you all for the support. Just wait for this to complete. Have a look at this thing. What did I want to see? Yes. Oh, that is designing slides on the side. Very good. That must be fun. What slide deck is it? Can we get a sneak peek, or at least information? What is it for? Oh, Kanir. Oh, hey, welcome back. Yeah, thank you. I think also respect the people who write documentation for CloudFormation. It can get very complex when it comes to CloudFormation documentation. There's so much of it. How to set up RBAC with AWS IAM. Ooh, that's an interesting security thing. Well, good luck. Is that going to be for a talk, or is it going to be like for a stream or something like that? Maybe can you share? Maybe we can get the folks on stream to join you. Let's see if this works. Okay. Oh, it's going to be on Twitch. Oh, yes. So my colleague Dennis, he has a Twitch channel. He does streams mostly in German, but he does them also in English as well. So yeah, if you're interested in some more AWS content, especially regarding security, check out Dennis's Twitch channel. I guess you could paste your Twitch channel somewhere. I think I have it open. So also, let me do something, because I know Dennis. Let me make Dennis a moderator. I think I can do that. Can I do that? Content dashboard. Yeah, Dennis is a colleague of mine. Dennis works with me. Dennis supports the German community. So yeah, Dennis. Cool. Now Dennis, you should be a moderator in my chat. Whoa. I gave you some power. Do not abuse it. Okay, so something is happening right now. I think we're getting past some things. Nope, rollback complete. So what did we fail? Fargate requires that the CPU be defined at the task level. Didn't I just do that? Didn't I remove this? What? Now, look if I have not saved this thing. Container definition, that's fine. I don't define CPU anywhere, right? I don't. So, back to here. Try again. Let's see what's going on. Same field. CPU needs Fargate requires that CPU be defined at task level. But I'm not doing that. So let me show you a little hack, life hack here. Just do this and then search Google. Is there somewhere on the docs? CPU value. Oh, so there's an example here, but I'm not gonna cheat. Fargate. Okay, let me try to do this thing. Let me remove this now. Maybe this works. Okay, let's deploy. Because I really don't know what that means. I mean, I have not deployed, I have not defined that thing. So there's an update in progress. Let's see, will this work? Okay, repository created. Okay. At least memory or memory duration must be specified. See, 3 container definition. If I define memory, maybe I could just read the documentation. So service, what is this? It's container definitions. Is it on service? No, it's task definition. Task definition. Task definition. Or, aha, instead of doing this, I can just do this and then do CPU, and define 512, right? Can I do that? Can I do memory as well? Let's do memory. Why not? Looks good. Looks good. Perfect. So let me just wait for this to roll back. Cool. Set on a lint. Should type inconsistencies. CloudFormation folks, listen to me. Please be consistent with the way you handle values. It says here, CPU should be type of string, this parameter. Memory should be type of string. If I did this the same way on container definitions, if I would put a string in a container definition, it would tell me it needs to be type of integer. Please get your thing straight. I'm not sure if the CloudFormation folks are watching this or will watch this, but if you are, and if you will, please. Okay. There's a couple of warnings I don't care about. Okay, update in progress. Let's go. Yes. C developer. Are you a C developer, Mr. Connier? Execution role ARM. Okay. What does this mean? We need to create more ARM. We need to create more roles. So let's build a role. I think there's an example here. I'm going to use this example. Where is it? Task definitions, not service. I think I saw a nice example somewhere here. C#. Okay, yeah. See, I've started with C#. Well, no, I haven't started, but C# is one of my earliest languages I used. Back in high school, we used to do C#. So, I mean, I've started with C, absolutely, in school, but C# is one of the things I've started with. So, role name, service name, role name. Should we do this role? ECS, assume role? Yeah, let's do this. .NET is very nice. I was never able to get like fully into .NET, but I did also Visual Basic as well. Yeah, but I never managed to get into it fully. Like, because I think the barrier of entry for me was that you had to do it in Visual Studio Code. And it's not that I'm not a fan of Visual Studio Code, it's just there's so many things being created from that, like a lot of different additional files and things and solutions and whatnot. So that's why I'm more a fan of something more simple, just like a single text file can do it all. So let's do like this, ECS role. This looks good. Perfect. So I'm just creating a ECS role. I'm going to be using this role for my containers. So ECS role. Does the role return ARN? That's true. That's true. And I think .NET is more lighter than Java. Now, this is me who's not, I don't know, is it or not? I'm not a Java person. So I don't know if .NET is more lighter than just using Java on Lambda functions. Task definition, I need a service ARN, right? No, task definition. Okay, that's true. Lighter than Java is a low bar. But apparently with Corretto is better. Corretto should be pretty good right now, right? Is this correct? I mean, I'm not sure if anybody's a Java person here, but I was under the impression that Corretto should be a bit better now. Okay, yeah, that's true. Lambdas. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, that's something else. We have not invented the term lambda. Yeah. ECS role. Okay, this should be fine. No, cancel. Okay, and try to deploy. That's true. That's true. I mean, if I recall correctly, Visual Basic in itself did not have any OOP. If I recall correctly, and that's been a long time. I know C doesn't, but like Visual Basic, I've used 6. Yeah, .NET did, but 6 didn't. Yeah. I still have a book on Visual Basic 6 at home, so yeah. And what was your first programming language? And feel free to go back way when. Basics on a Commodore VIC-20. Oh, or you mean VC-20 in Germany. Failed. But why did you fail? Fast definition have a... I have an execution role ARN. Oh, execution role ARN. Oh. Yeah, I know that was a thing in Germany. They had to call it VC-20 because Vic, or the way you say Vic in German, is different. See, this is a stream where you learn things. Not just CloudFormation, but you also learn the complexity of German language and Commodore. By the way, I still have my first coding book ever on the shelf there. Let me get it actually. So this is my Commodore 64 book. It's in Serbian, or I think. Yeah, Serbian. This is the first book I've read. I was like 5 when I learned to read and do my Commodore stuff. So yeah, I have like, you have all these things like, you know, code listings, and this is what I used to do. Like literally I would just sit in front of a Commodore on front of my TV and just enter programs, and hopefully it works. Oh, logo, that's a bit old. Hey, Kaurin, hey, Miloše, hi. Yes, troubleshooting CloudFormation, full circle. Has no valid refs at resource at resources. Execution role, ARN. Yes, data. I think I just actually kind of ran into that thing somewhere. Just when you want to do some data, you literally rows and rows of data. Imagine that. How far have we went from that to me writing whole infrastructure in yeah, things like these, right? So I'm not sure if it can focus, but yeah, this has been data entry back then. Well, yeah, checksums were a huge invention, absolutely. So why is this a problem? Execution role has no valid refs at resources. Well, ref, my ECS role. String. Okay, let's find this. I'm gonna try to find a great example of this. Well, there you go. Ref execution role. And the execution role is... Okay, okay, so I need this. Perfect. So, life hack. If you are struggling with some code, check GitHub. Like literally search for a thing you want to do in CloudFormation GitHub. Somebody has done it. So I actually just kind of refuse to do this right now, and I'm gonna do it like this. So it's gonna be ECS execution role. Mr. David, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll try to do it. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis, for being online. I appreciate it. And Miloš, are you still here? Miloš is my colleague, my ex-colleague from AWS. Miloš, can you share your own first code thing that you did? What's your first programming language ever? So in this case, because I cannot just ref it, I need to get at. I need to do get at. So RN. Okay, this seems like potentially good. It is perfect. So Microsoft Basic. There we go. That's the same thing. This is the same thing. And if anybody on stream is from Serbia or the place, that part of the world, this old book even has like an old ad on it, like Beobanka it used to be an old bank. I don't think it exists anymore. Yeah, so that tells you the age of this book. Okay, now this seems to be working fine. Let me try to deploy it. By the way, for anybody just joining, we're, as you can see here, we're building a CloudFormation pipeline together with a lot of ECS and VPC stuff, apparently. This is part 2. Part 1 was yesterday, and we had a stream yesterday about 2 hours-ish. So it's on YouTube. You can go there and check it out. And actually, let me paste that link somewhere, because I need to do this. And then I'll share it somewhere. I have it on here. Yes. What? Why don't you work? Ah. I'm trying to paste, and I'm pasting on this other computer. Ah. No, Darko, the other computer, please. There we go. Having one computer on two sides, it's not the best thing in the world. Cool. Okay, I have canceled my update, or I have not canceled my update, but I have... Let's see what's happening here. Update in progress. We've done things. We've created stuff. Wow, excellent. So we have actually created now VPC. We have created a bunch of roles. We have created ECR Repository. We have created an ECS Service, a cluster, a gateway, route, task definitions. Excellent. We are good on our way to create our ECS application or our container-based application on the cloud through CloudFormation. So pretty good. Now, if I could only do this through Microsoft Basic. There should be a Microsoft Basic interpreter for CloudFormation or a translator. So what else do we need for our container to kind of work? So any application sitting behind a container, especially on Fargate, we need to define some load balancers. So another thing we need to add to our stack is a load balancer. So let me actually do this for you. Do this right now. So let's do it here. So let's put it in the network stack. Is it network stack? No. Let's do specifically like this. Or actually, let's do web load. So we're going to create an application load balancer that's going to be serving our content from ECS. So let's go there. Let's find application load balancer. And I apologize for the loudness of my keyboard. It's a mechanical one, so. Okay, so we need a few things here. Oh boy. Load balancer v2. Does anybody know why we have a load balancer v2 instead of having just elastic load balancer? Or actually, why do we have elastic load balancer and elastic load balancing and elastic load balancer balancing v2? Do you know why is that a thing? And it's a very important thing why that exists. I'll wait for a guess. Exactly. So Kahiri says my compatibility with something. Here's the thing about APIs. So what CloudFormation does, the CloudFormation basically creates, it's an API for you. It creates a bunch of things because you give it something, right? I think Werner Vogel said this once in one of his talks a year ago or something like that. He said APIs are forever. So once you create an API, people start using it. You cannot modify it in that extent to break its original functionality. So especially when you're serving a lot of folks out there, you need to make sure that your APIs are compatible. That's why you will see a lot of places where they have API name v2 or v3 or v4, because you're bringing so much different functionality to your API or to the same call to the API that you cannot no longer reuse the original one unless you break it for a lot of people. So yeah, PHP syndrome, there we go. So load balancer. Where are we gonna do this? What is the blessed? I think there's an example here. I've seen a bunch of examples here on things, stuff of services. Is it here? No, there is an example of this. And also use as much examples as you can. There we go. ELB. So this is a traditional load balancer. Should I use this one? No. I'm going to use the proper one. So let's do it like this. Elastic Load Balancer version 2. Actually, so let's do this. ALB cloud. There must be an example. Where we go. There must be an example how this works. So resources, service, target groups, load balancer. Excellent. So let's do this. Copy, paste. Okay, I don't need to set these things. I'm gonna just define a name, call it stream kafana load ALB, like that. Internet facing security groups. Oh, we need to create security groups. Okay, let's create a security group. Let's find it. It's on EC2, I think. EC2. Security group. Perfect. I think actually this should be sufficient for this. Perfect. Excellent. So then this is fine. The security group should be my instance. Or actually, let's rename this. Go. My ELB or ALB security group. What did I do? Okay. So we create a load balancer. Now, once we have a load balancer, we need to do something else. We need to create a listener. Is there a nice example of a listener? You know what? We're gonna fall back to this thing. So we have a listener, HTTP, but actually we're gonna create a target group and this thing. So like that. Whoop-bam, 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 like that. Is this good enough? It's good. So create a target group. Health check. That's all fine. Health check path. I will just leave it be on root, so this doesn't really matter. The name, I'll call it stream CFN target group. Port, the container port is going to be 5000. protocol is going to be HTTP. This I don't really mind. Target type IP. VPC ID is my VPC. My listener. I'm going to do HTTPS. Why not? No, I'm not going to do HTTPS. Target group ARN. My target group. Load balancer. What is the name of the load balancer? It's my load balancer. Okay. My load balancer, and port is going to be 80. 80 please. Protocol is going to be HTTP, and there's going to be no certificates. Okay, so let me just have a look at what did we create right now. I want to make sure that load balancing target group. What is the target group? What did we configure here? We said health check path. This should be a string. Okay, default is thread. Okay, it's fine. Port. What is the port in the target group? Port is on which the target receives traffic. Okay, so we're going. Okay, that's fine. And then protocol HTTP. That's fine. And then the listener on the listener's side. Where's listener? Yes. We also have port, load balancer. Okay, port 80. That's fine. And the load balancer. Have we defined the load balancer port? We have not. Load balancer. Do we have? Oh, we don't have to define it here. Load balancer attributes. What are the attributes here? I can define key value. I don't want to define that. I don't really mind. Okay. I think we should be good with that. There's only one more thing when it comes to ECS. We need to define something on ECS for this to work. So ECS Service, I think there's a load balancing thing. Yes, load balancers. Okay, excellent. So just a list of load balancers. So if I go Service and I do load balancers like that and just do this and ref my load balancer. I think that's the name. My load balancer. Excellent. Cool. All right. Let's see if this is a well-built template. It's not. Okay, a few things. Subnet. It's my subnet, not subnet. What else? 446. My load balancer. Load balancers. Properties. There is no definition, no property named load balancers. Ugh, what? Did I kill Tmux? Oh. That's not it one. Okay. Tmux to the rescue. If you're not using Tmux, you should. Terminal multiplexers. Load balancers. Why is this not a thing? Can I do this? Like that? Okay. Property is an object instead of a list of resources. So it's like this. like this. Why are you YAML? Why are you the way you are? Yes, I actually never used Screen. Screen was showed to me initially saying, oh, you should use Screen. But somehow Tmux showed its way to me. So, but Tmux is, at least for me, I know the keyboard syntax now, so it's easy for me to use it. But yeah, invalid property resources, pro load balancers, ref. Okay, so something is not, so I need to check this. So load balancers, a list of load balancers. Service load, let me see if this gentleman here has this thing. Oh, it has. Oh, so it's not just a load balancer. So container name, container port, and target group ARN. Oh, okay. My bad. So load balancers is actually a bunch of things. It's container name, container port, and then target group ARN. So container name is going to be our service, right? Yes. No, actually, what's the container name? Do we define a container name? Container name. What is a container name? It appears container definition. Okay, then we have to do container definition. Where's our container definition? Okay. So, so it's going to be this one. I'm not a fan of hard coding these things, but stream container def. So we're gonna be smarter later on once we introduce like parameters and those things. So far it's gonna be just like this. And target group ARN, it's gonna be ref my target group. I think so. Target is IP. I have IP somewhere set up, I believe. Yes, target type is IP. Okay, so this is required if we're going to use Fargate. So, okay, sounds good. Looks good. Okay, perfect. We're good. Let's try to deploy. Okay, and we're approaching 2 hours now. So, if this works now, we are gonna make an end here. I'm just gonna make sure that this works, and yeah, we're gonna continue most likely on Monday. So let's see what's happening on this side. Update rollback in progress. Ooh. The container definition doesn't have a container with port 5000 defined. Okay, let's define this then. Okay, so container definition is somewhere here. If I do port 5000 like that, is that where I do that? Container definition. That's on task definition, and then container definition. Container definitions. I can define port mappings. Okay, so need to do a port mapping. What is a port mapping in this case? Okay, no, container port. Okay, container port. Okay, then let's do this. Port mappings. And then it's container port 5000. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I will keep on doing these things. I think it's very fun. Is it port mappings? It is. CFN lint. Property is an object instead of a list of resources. Okay. No. Like this. Okay. Let's see if have we made this work. Okay, update in progress is still. Okay, there's a rollback in progress. What did we do? It failed. Does not have an associated load balancer. Target group with group ARN. Target has the... What? Really? Target group. Okay, something is off. Target group, target group, target group. There it is. Did we find this in a load balancer or? Let's see what's there. So the target group with target group ARN does not have a load balancer, an associated load balancer. Okay. So this thing does not have a associated load balancer. How does one do that? How does one associate a load balancer or a target group to a load balancer? Load balancer. Target group. Association resource. Is there an association resource? Yeah, I don't think there is something like that for load balancing here. So actually, let me try to reference this thing. So what is this? Service, load balancer. So we have a target group here. Name, port, a listener, load balancer, subnet, security group, scheme. No. Yeah, so I know what you're talking about. The thing, associations are for like VPC things that we can use, but for VPC entering gateways we have associations, but or no, route tables we have associations, but not for this. So it's interesting to see this error. The target group with target group ARN does not have an associated load balancer. Okay, so let's see what this. Before register lambda function is target. Let's see if we have target group attribute. What attributes do we have? Stickiness, load balancing, type. No, target type, instance, that's fine, it should be IP, unhealthy threshold, VPC ID. Interesting. But when you create a target group, you later on do with, or you actually create an elastic load balancer, application load balancer, and then you add a target group to that load balancer. So it should be somewhere in the load balancer settings, I believe. So a listener rule, is it a listener? No, it's not listener. Listener you define an ARN, and here Exactly. So something is on this side. So if I go to the load balancer, I can see that I have load balancer attributes, name, scheme, security group, subnet, tags, and type. If I go to type, I see application and network. But this is nothing I have done here. So name, scheme, security groups. Is it scheme? No, it's just that. Okay, subnet mappings. That's all fine. Okay. Subnets, tags, types. And if we go look at the load balancer attributes, these are just routing, load balancing cross zone, deletion protection, nothing from that side. So what am I missing? Am I defining something wrong? Target group, health check, load balancer. I don't want to look at this too much because I really want to figure it out myself, right? As much as possible. Execution role, auto scaling role, container, load balancer, service. So we can see that we define load balancers here. Target. So on the listener, so this is our connection. So the listener has a target group connection here, my target group, type forward, and my load balancer. So let me just have a look at this is the connection I have here. So if I go to listener, then I have default actions. Should be something like this. Is there an example? No. Type. What is the type? Forward, redirect. Okay. Listener will forward our things to my load balancer, my target group, and my load balancer. This all looks fine. Let's look at this. I think maybe it's on the service. Sorry, the ECS side. We do service and then load balancers, load balancer, and then target group ARN. Okay, so let's see. Let's have a look at this. So okay, and that's fine, but does our target group, if I go to target group, does the return of this thing give an ARN or does it give a name? It gives an ARN, so that's all fine. So just one more thing. Is this an inconsistency thing? Task definition, AWS security group. Oh, see, something could be of deal. So if I do like here, depends on, and then I will do my load balancer, Now this should not be the case here, but if I length it, that's fine, and try to deploy it again. It could be a race thing. It could be just like a race condition, so that it just didn't work. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, target group has been created. The task definition is being created. Level security group. Load balancer is being created. A load balancer actually takes a while for create because it actually is creating something in the backend. finish my coffee. Wow, it's 8:15 p.m. See you, Milosha. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for the input. Let's see if this will work. So this could have literally been a dependency issue. Even though CloudFormation should be smart enough to do dependencies sometimes. Thank you. I wouldn't do these streams if there were not no audience. I like that there's an audience, that you guys enjoy this, and as long as you're enjoying it, this is fine. If you stop enjoying this, I'll stop doing streams, most likely. So, or maybe I'll just keep doing it because I just enjoy it. Come on, create the load balancers, please. So this is a great great example of making sure you have proper dependency management, because things like elastic load balancers tend to be flaky. How are they gonna launch, and how long does it take them to launch? So you need to specifically define sometimes your dependencies in code, so you can see this. Okay, so something failed again. The cleanup in progress. What did it? Update cleanup in progress. Why update cleanup in progress? Why? What did you do? I think it has only been created. It's deleting the old one. Oh, cool. So we have been done. Okay, so yeah, it was a dependency issue. Interesting. Cool. So this is now created. It's gonna basically delete some of the things that it's kind of left behind. But one of the things we can see here, we have now a load balancer. We have all these things configured. So let's have a look at this. So if I refresh this, I see that I have a Fargate cluster. I have one service here that is actually using, can we see a load balancer? Yes, we can see our target group here. We have no tasks running, but we have a task definition created, which is cool. This is the task definition basically in JSON form, but I'm not going to do anything with it right now. So what I'll do right now is I will actually, let's wrap it up by doing the following. Let's close this off. So git add all, git commit part 2, git push origin mainline, or main, is it main? Main, yeah. So I've actually committed this code now on GitHub. So this is currently on my GitHub repository, not on this thing, but I have a different thing somewhere. One moment. GitHub, and then do this. So I have a repository here called CFN something something. This one, that's the horrible name. We have our template here. We have our web application for Python, and this is it. Cool. So on the next stream, which is going to happen on Monday, I think, I will be looking at finishing this up, actually making it fully work, building all the CI/CD stuff, so adding all the build spec and app spec things for actual deployments, and then finally making our template better by adding parameters and those things. So it's going to be a bit more robust, and I think that should kind of handle it all, at least for this part of CloudFormation. Then going forward, we will do more CloudFormation most likely, or we will just kind of mix and match with CDK a bit. So yeah, this should be fun. Cool. Once again, thank you very much for joining. I really hope you enjoyed this type of stream. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes stream, my longest stream so far. It's been very fun for me to do this. I will be seeing you most likely on Monday, and I will let you know on the social medias when I'm going to be doing this exactly, but I think it's going to be Monday. Thank you for joining. My name has been Darko Mesaros, and I will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.